If you're looking to create a set of financial projections for an e-commerce business that also sells wholesale to retailers or other wholesale customers, then you've come to the right place. We have created a financial projection spreadsheet template built specifically for this business model of e-commerce and wholesale. And I'm going to walk through how to fill the template out and how to produce a set of 5-year projections for potential investors and lenders. Before I do that, just a little bit of background. My name is Adam Huxama. I'm the co-founder of Projection Hub. And over the last decade, we've helped over 50,000 entrepreneurs create financial projections for potential investors and lenders. And my background is in SBA lending, where I spent a decade as the director of an SBA loan, a small business administration loan program, where we approved over 1,000 loans during that time. And so I looked at a lot of financial models, financial projections, and lots of loan applications, and also helped a number of companies raise equity as well. And one thing that we noticed is that although a perfect set of projections isn't going to give you automatic approval for a loan, a bad set of projections can cause you to get denied for a loan. So that is something that we often saw, that a set of projections that didn't make sense, were outside of industry norms, or just way out in left field that didn't really align with what lenders expected to see. That was often such a red flag that it could cause a quick denial. And so my goal here is just to get you past that hurdle. I want to help you create a set of projections that will make it so that you can at least move past that hurdle and then on to the next things, and don't let the projections be the thing that keep you from getting a loan. That's my aim here. A couple more housekeeping things here. We're going to put a link in the description of the video below to this template, so you can go grab the template and follow along. And then lastly, we're going to put a link to, we'll give you access to a form that you can fill out to get a discount code sent to you as our thank you for watching the video. So if you go down into the description of the video below, you'll be able to find that form, fill it out, and we'll email you that coupon code right away. And so with that, let's go ahead and dive into the template. Okay, so this is our at a glance tab. So this is the end of the process. So after you filled in all of your assumptions, you're going to be able to see a number of different charts and KPI summary data here. So key ratios and graphs, startup use of funds, and you'll be able to pull these things into a business plan or pitch deck. You'll also get a 5-year income statement summary, 5-year cash flow summary, 5-year balance sheet, and then your income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet all broken down by month for each of the 5 years. So that's the end of the process. Now, in order to get to that point, we have some work to do on inputting our various assumptions. So the first thing to know is that every cell that's highlighted in light blue is an assumption that you can change without breaking something in the model. So we have set a projection start month, an opening cash balance of 50,000 here. We also are assuming initial equity funding that we're looking to raise in month 1 here, 500,000. We have accounts payable terms. This is the percentage of operating expenses that we're going to pay in the month that we incur them at 80%. We're going to pay 80% of our bills in the month that we incur them. And then accounts receivable terms, we're assuming that 50% will be paid upon delivery and then 50% on a net 30 payment. Now, this is specifically important in wholesale because you may, depending on the terms you have with your wholesale customers, maybe the type of thing that they may be on a net 30 or even farther out payment plan where you're going to deliver the goods, the products, and they don't have to pay you for some period of time. And so that's what the assumptions here are for. Okay, next we can enter in any fixed assets that you have, and probably not going to have a whole lot in the way of fixed assets, maybe a trademark as an example, or maybe some employee equipment, some computers, equipment, and that sort of thing. We also have the ability to enter in a business loan here, so you can enter in a business loan, what month that is going to be taken out, an interest rate, and a term in months. So we're assuming a $400,000 business loan in this example here as well. All right, so next we're going to be on our input revenue tab. I'm going to kind of walk through this. So we have this idea of visitor acquisition, customer acquisition. So we're going to have a monthly ad spend. So we are entering in assumptions here for our advertising spend, and we have an assumption here on a cost per click. So we're saying we think it's going to cost us $2.70 per click to get a visitor to our website for our particular niche of product that we're selling. So we'll have 185 visitors from paid ads in the first month based on that, and we're going to have 500 organic visitors, and maybe we're going to grow this over time. And so we're saying in the first year it's 500 a month, but then after that we're going to have a hope to invest in SEO and get a 100% annual growth rate on our organic traffic. So that will give us our total number of website visitors per month. And from there we can apply a conversion rate. So let's say we're assuming a 3% conversion rate of website visitor to order. So now we can see our total number of orders, and then we can see the number of items per order. So let's say we have the average order is 2.5 items. Next, we can enter in the different products or categories of products that we are selling. And so let's say product 1, we are launching in month 1, but then these other products we're going to be launching over time. So month 6, 13, 18, and so on. You can have a price point, average price point for that product, and a cost of the product. Here we've set that up as a percentage of the price. So 35% of the price is our cost. And then we have a cost of shipping and packaging that's paid by the seller as well. Then here we have the ability to enter in kind of the relative popularity of the item. So this would be, the way to think about this would be add up all of these numbers in this column here. And in this example, this adds up to 6. So 1 out of 6 orders is going to be product category 1. 2 out of the 6 orders will be product category 2, and so on, right? So if you had one product category that was much more popular, you could put it as a 10, for example. And in that case, our number now would be 14. So we'd be saying 10 out of 14 orders are going to be product category 2. So that's kind of the way to think about that. We have the ability to add in annual price growths and annual cost of goods sold growth rates here as well. Then we can get into our wholesale revenue. So here's where, if we're selling to independent boutiques or big box stores here, we can say, okay, we're in chain number 1, we're starting in month 5. Here's the wholesale price that we're going to be offering to them as a percentage of the MSRP. And then the average number of locations per year that we think we'll be in, and the number of units that we expect to sell per location per year. So we're saying, okay, here in year 1, we're going to be in 60 independent boutiques selling 30 units per boutique. So based on those assumptions, we'll have a total number of units sold. And this is where we'd enter in our wholesale products. So we might have different products that we're selling to wholesale or just different price points than our direct-to-consumer e-commerce items. So you can enter in, again, those similar set of assumptions here. And now we can also enter in assumptions about the average order size from wholesalers and price growth rates and what the seller would be paying. If they're paying any shipping costs per order, you can put that in here. Ultimately, that will give us our wholesale revenue and our wholesale cost of goods sold. All right, finally on this page, we have an inventory model here where we can set up opening inventory, $100,000, and then we can set up what's our first order amount, that first initial inventory order amount, and then what month that's going to hit. And then after that, we set up just a set of rules. So we say order every X number of months, and we said 3 months, and a minimum order amount of 25,000 with 2 months between the order and delivery. So we're saying, basically, we know we need lead time for our manufacturer to provide, to deliver. So we're assuming a 2-month lead time, and we're going to have to pay 50% of the deposit due at the time of order and 50% upon delivery. Okay, so then the rest of this is just a calculation of the cash payments for inventory and your beginning inventory, your inventory purchases, your cost of goods sold, and your inventory sales, and then your ending inventory each month. So you can kind of see how that's modeled out here. And ultimately, this is a lot of times very custom for every business. And so if you end up needing help customizing this, don't hesitate to reach out. We can help customize this inventory model for your specific situation if that would be helpful for you. Okay, we're almost done here. We've got 2 more tabs that are input operating expense tab, where we can enter in things like advertising, our consultants, SEO, marketing firm. We can categorize these things, and then we can set the cost driver. So it could be a fixed dollar amount. So for example, let's say for our SEO, we're spending $1,000 a month on, and it's a fixed rate. But then for things like a remote office expense, that's going to be on a per full-time equivalent employee, per FTE, full-time equivalent employee basis. So for every employee that we have, we're going to have $500 in remote office expense right here. And then finally, we could have certain expenses that are a percentage of revenue. So maybe we want to set general and admin, development, sales, and marketing as a percentage of revenue. We can set that on a percentage basis here. So what we often see, and the reason we have this starting in year 2 through 5, is that a lot of times people will know what the next 12 months looks like, and they want to put in specific dollar amounts for those expenses. But then beyond that, they may switch over to a percentage of revenue expense structure where they say, okay, we don't know what we're going to spend on sales and marketing in year 5 to the specific dollar amount, but we know we're going to spend roughly 10% because that's common in our industry, for example. And then lastly, here we have our input salaries and dividends tab. We can enter in our different job titles here, the category of that salary position, what their annual salary is, any benefits, what month the position will start. So we can see that the marketing lead is going to start in month 13. You can also have the number of the particular employee. So here we said, okay, we're going to have general and admin staff at $50,000 annual salary starting in month 15, and we're going to have 3 of them. And then customer support could be another example where we might have multiple. Now, finally, we have this scaling staff team section down here. And so this attempts to allow you to scale certain aspects of your team with revenue. So you can say, okay, for every 100,000 or whatever dollar amount you want to put in there, every 100,000 in monthly revenue, we're going to add a customer support team member, or we're going to add $65,000 worth of annual customer support cost for every 100,000 in additional monthly revenue. And we can say that starts in month 15, and it goes to month 60 with a 5% annual raise. Again, these are often customized for your specific situation. So if you have questions about how to customize for your unique use case, please don't hesitate to reach out. But that is really the end of the process. So you're back at our At a Glance tab, where you have various graphs and charts you can now pull into your pitch deck or business plan. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to support@projectionhub.com or leave us a comment in the comment section of the video below. And don't forget, as a thank you for making it to the end of this video, make sure to go down in the description of the video below, fill out that form, and we're going to send you a coupon code to be able to get a discount on this particular template. Hope this has been helpful. And again, reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com. Thanks.